Well guys, today the car is leaving. My all-wheel drive Civic Type R is leaving. But before it leaves, we have a few little things to finish up. I'll explain what we're doing later, why it's actually leaving for probably a week or so. But first, let's take care of a few little issues, get this car assembled so we can actually drive it to where we're going. First issue is a sensor issue. Fire old girl up, zoom in on this Helltech dash, and lo and behold, check out that coolant temp. She's bouncing all over the place. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go back to an OEM setup. I currently have a Low Dollar Motorsports. It's a combo gauge or a combo sender, so it's a pressure and temp in one. And clearly this car doesn't like it. That is mounted down on the thermostat housing. The factory sensor for coolant temp is right there. Thankfully, our thermostat housing has a hole to thread that in there because we do not have any wiring up here for that. So let's pull that out, put that in the thermostat housing. Thankfully, the car still has just water in it, no coolant. So it's gonna leak some water, which is not a big deal. If there's coolant, it would be annoying. And then we need to change up the wiring to wire in the factory sensor back into the harness. Alrighty, coolant temp is fixed. Now do you guys see another problem? Look at that battery voltage, man. Battery voltage is super low, so I'm gonna do some digging around. I don't know if the alternator ground is no good. It's a brand new high output alternator. I know it's wired properly. I think it might be a grounding issue from the alternator back to the frame rail. Check this out. Next issue has been resolved. 13.8 volts, good to go. So that was due to an assigning something improper with the Nexus R3. That 12 volt wire powers the alternator, intake cam, flex fuel, and VTC. Check that wire is only getting 3 volts. In the Helltech, I needed to assign this wire right here, which is a half bridge. I needed to assign that to an ECR output for engine control relay. So like I said, when I was building this engine harness and installing the ECU acts as a relay system, a fuse box, all that stuff as well. So you can just kind of assign things how you want it to act. And now our last issue is fixed. Let's move on and start getting this thing assembled, get that fender on, get the headlight on, and we need to get a catch can set up on this car immediately because as of right now, our ports off the valve cover, they're going to nowhere. Just right to the atmosphere. So let's get this fender on. Hopefully it clears all of our wiring because we now have like 3 different harnesses stuffed back here. Engine, ABS, and then another harness that runs to like the windshield washer fluid reservoir. But if I'm not mistaken, everything should clear just fine. Fender's on. Now to see if our big ol' engine harness will clear the headlight. Plenty of space. Man, that's gonna look good. Fender is on, headlight is on. Now check this out. Little comparison. I have a set of OEM FK8 little fender covers and I trimmed them out for the hood struts. I don't like how it turned out whatsoever, so I'm just gonna be going away from the hood struts back to the OEM hood prop. Went to go order a new OEM set, which are a couple $100, and I came across these ones. They were on Amazon and they were $40. Look how good these things fit. And they actually cover more and they, in my opinion, look better and cleaner than the OEMs. All right, got both sides on, and then especially with this top cover here, kind of just like takes your focus away from the outside and puts it where your focus belongs, which of course is the engine. I think that's pretty sweet. That looks nice. Of course, we're missing that upper cowl, but when it's all complete, it's gonna look really, really, really good. You can see the engine harness right here underneath the headlight. And then the last thing I want to get on for the day is the catch can, which I plan on mounting the catch can right up in here. Let's go ahead and open it up. As I was installing the catch can on Bobby's Evo 10, I figured let's try and retrofit one onto the FK8. So this is an Evo 10 MAP catch can and coolant overflow like combo type of deal. It's a very nice unit, and we should be able to get it mounted somewhere right up in here. Well, I don't want to do this, but we may have to do a little bit of work on the tub to get that sitting where I want it. I really, really, really want to run this on the car. It's either this or we just have one custom built, but I already have this piece, so I do think I'm going to have to make it work. And it's going to look super nice and kind of OEM-ish when it's all finished up. So I got the catch can mounted up exactly where I want it. Just so happens that's the same location it goes in on an Evo 10. Let's go ahead and get the lines on. So this is a 2-line can. 2 are gonna go to the valve cover. Also happens to double as a coolant overflow. So we're gonna hook that to the neck here and then hook up the drain and we're done. Now, of course, I do need to go ahead and box in the tub. I will have to repaint that tub, not a super big deal, as I did get a little paint chip in it a few months ago anyway. Okay, our catch can setup is complete. There's the can itself, and then we have some nice little lines made. I used the ones that come in the kit, trimmed them down, and added my own 90-degree fittings there. That looks very, very nice. Clean, simple, effective. Now let's go drop this thing off. This is also gonna be my first longer distance drive with the new setup, so hopefully all goes well. First time having both of the Hondas together in a very long time, if ever. The EM1, that's going to one of you guys, and the good old Type R FK8. It's pretty sweet seeing both of these things together. That one making, what, like 300-400 more horsepower than this. So we are dropping this thing off at the one and only Straight Fabrication. There's not many places I trust, of course, with my cars, and obviously they are one of them. They are going to complete the hood exit exhaust for me. We run the carbon hood on this car, and they're really good at what they do. I don't really trust myself cutting into this carbon hood, so I will leave it up to them. But first, we need to stop and get some gas. My fuel gauge is not hooked up in this thing. and I have no idea how much fuel is in it. Nice. Almost got T-boned in the freaking all-wheel drive Type R. Well, it's a good thing I got gas because she was on E. I really need some rolling anti-lag on this car. All right, we made it to Straight Fab, dropped off the car. Car ran phenomenal the whole entire way. Definitely needs a retune. I did tip into it just a little bit right after I almost got T-boned. I don't know if you guys saw that in the roundabout. Tipped into it a little bit, definitely on the rich side, so we do need to retune the car, which was expected. But other than that, we should be good to go. That car is going to be gone for probably, they had to order some parts, so 4 or 5 days. We'll get the Type R back with a hood on it finally. It's been at least 6 months without the hood, and it's a little bit frustrating, but I'm excited to have the hood back on. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you want to pick up this MAP Evo 10 catch can that we installed on the Type R, even though it's not made for Type Rs, so if you have a stock Type R, don't buy it expecting it to fit, but I'll link it down below. Goodbye.